Hello there, I'm Posh Boy Vapes. Welcome back to the channel. Great to have you with me. First of all, an apology for the delay in producing a new video. My real life job is very busy in the run-up to Christmas, and then I took a week off because I needed to, frankly, and that's okay. So sorry to have kept you waiting. Hopefully this will be a nice quick one today, and maybe this will mean I'll get another video out shortly. As you can see, I'm filming in daylight for once, which makes a change. My normal MO is I'm a night worker, so I tend to film after the hours of darkness, but I thought, why not capitalise on the lovely sunshine today? So here we are. And of course, a happy Christmas and a very happy New Year to you all. 2020 has been, well, indescribable, we all know that. So let's hope that 2021 will see the world become a little bit of a better place. So what are we here to talk about today? I am going to talk about today the Geekvape Zeus Nano tank, which is a little stock coil tank that I picked up for the purposes of review, and I deliberately acquired it in the rainbow colour because I've got the Geekvape Zeus X RTA in rainbow, and I thought I wanted to keep the same series in the same colour, so that's what I went for. So as usual, we will do an up-close look and take it all apart, see what you get in the box, and put it all back together, and then we'll take it for a vape. So here we go. All right, let's dive down close and have a look. Right, time for the up close with the Geekvape Zeus Nano tank, the most reliable leak-proof tank, apparently. Warnings on here, safety markings on the side, kit contents on the back here. Top to bottom airflow, agreed, that makes it very leak-proof. Leak-proof top airflow system, well, we just said that. Airflow adjustable, you'd expect. Geekvape B-series coils, very popular. Mouth to lung or direct lung, and a 510 drip tip. This one coming in rainbow, and scratch and check mark on the side there and some branding there. When we take it out the box, we see the tank itself. I think that is a very, very pretty little tank, I really do. We will have a look at the tank itself in just a moment. We also get in the box here our little box of spares, in which we find our silica gel, don't need that, a spare bubble glass, not just a straight glass. I will get the exact contents for you in due course, as in volumes it will take. We get a spare coil in there, and we've got a little bag with a little coil removal tool, a spare 510 drip tip, a number of spare O-rings, and of course we have our instruction manual in a selection of languages, and a little wallet type thing with our warranty card, a advertising card for the Aegis Legend and the Zeus Nano tank, and our warning cards about safety, as you would expect. So let's get in close and look at her. We've got the Zeus logo on the chimney, just like we do on other Geekvape Zeus tanks, like the X, which we'll be having a look at in another video. We've got our 510 drip tip with O-rings on the outside and a clean little entry there. Fine, as you'd expect. And we've got a quarter turn cap to fill through the two kidney holes at the top there. Airflow there and there, which is adjustable simply by a quarter turn of the airflow of the body, and it stops each side. It's gently resistant. That's only might move a little bit, but not enough to write home about, really. Oh, we've got our 510 pin. Now, although that is protruding, remember, this is not a rebuildable tank. You do not use this on a mech mod. And we've got our usual branding, serial number and such on the bottom there, designed by Geekvape. When we unscrew the bottom and take off the bottom piece, which is going to be very squeaky because it's bone dry, of course, and it's trying to take that O-ring off, here's where your little tool comes in to help you remove your coils, and you just get it under there and gently lever. He said faithfully. Or maybe you don't. Maybe just get your fingers on it and pull. That seems to be the easiest way. It's just a push fit coil. And I've also managed to pull the airflow off as well because I haven't got the top cap on. And when we put it back in, It's just push fit straight back in. And this coil, as we can see, is the 0.4 Canthal 25 to 33 watts. Let's just have a look actually down the barrel of it. It is a mesh style coil there. The other coil in the packet is a 0.6 coil rated for 15 to 25 watts. So it said on the packet this can be used in direct lung or mouth to lung mode. I would say therefore that the 0.4 coil is going to be your choice for direct lung, and the 0.6 coil is going to be your choice for mouth to lung. I'm just trying to refit this O-ring before I put the top cap on, the base on, because I don't want it to fall out the sides, which it was trying to. That's a bit fiddly and is somewhat blocking the thread. I see. Maybe if I put it on the base of here instead, we might have a little bit more luck. Yes, I think we will. This is something that I've had happen with my Zeus X RTA. Two things actually. One, that airflow ring comes off all the time, as it does on the Zeus X. And secondly, O-rings fall out all the time, and you have to get them pushed back into place in order that you can refit caps and bases and so on. It just seems to be, for me anyway, seems to be a thing that Geekvape tanks do. If it's just me, and I'm just being ham-fisted, and none of the rest of you have ever had such a problem with a Geekvape tank, please just tell me in the comments that I am a ham-fisted idiot. This is very feasible. I am open to constructive criticism. Constructive being the operative word. There we go. Now it's back in place, and I'm happy again, and I can put my lid back on. And that's our tank back together. So actually, the little coil pulling spanner, although it's cute and is branded, didn't really help. So that's the end of that one. We'll just do it by hand, really. If I have any trouble later on when the coil's been used and it's a bit gunged up with juice, maybe the spanner will come in handy. Who knows? We shall see. But let's get some juice in it, and let's take it, leave it for usual 5 minutes, and then we'll take it for a vape. Oh, just looking at the design of the chimney in here, you can see that these are these big juice ports either side here. We're going to let the juice in to the coil itself. The airflow coming in the top there feeds down inside the coil and then back up. Sorry, down the sides of the coil and then back up out through your drip tip there. So, filling her up, quarter turn to take the cap off, and we're going to go with Supergood's Bramble, which is rapidly becoming one of my favourite juices, and pop this in the kidney hole there. Doesn't really fit, so you're going to have to be a little bit careful. Just fill it up slowly, or else there will be juice all over the shop. Now, if I wanted to use this really soon, I would have primed the coil before installing it, but I'm going to let that sit for 10 or 15 minutes easily before I start using it, so that there's a good chance for that juice to soak well into the cotton all the way around the mesh coil, and thus I'm not going to burn it out when I first use it. Alright, there you go. That was the ins and outs of the Geekvape Zeus Nano tank. So what can I tell you about it? So, first of all, it comes in 6 different colours, pictures of which are appearing on the screen right now. And you can pick it up for about £20, €22, 25 to $30 US, which I think is a very reasonable price, to be honest. It takes the same coils as the very popular Aegis Boost series, the Geekvape Aegis Boost. So they're called the B series coils, and they're widely available. And you can get them in a 0.4 or 0.6, both mesh coils. And the 0.4 is steered more towards direct lung use, and the 0.6 is steered more towards mouth to lung use. And indeed, in the video, you saw me starting off in the close-up with the 0.4 and putting some 70-30 juice into it, taking it down the sub-ohm route. And then what I've gone on to as I've been testing it is I've switched over to the 0.6 coil, and I've been using nic salts with it down the more mouth to lung route. And my immediate thought is it is much preferable in mouth to lung mode for a couple of reasons. First of all, let's talk about the airflow, shall we? This is the airflow wide open. That's wide open as you would use it in sub-ohm mode, if you will, with the 0.4 coil. I know they're both below 1 ohm, so they're both technically sub-ohm. But if you were using it with a 70-30 juice in what we might more commonly call sub-ohm mode, that's what you'll get. It's incredibly loud, and it seems to carry over juice every single time you draw on it. And indeed, when I just tried it there, whether I was firing it or not, I still got a mouthful of juice. It wasn't nice. What I have been doing, and I was just looking down whilst I readjust it, is I've been running it in mouth to lung mode with the airflow pinned almost shut. I've got a millimetre open on the airflow, and that is a lot quieter and smooths out the draw significantly and takes it more down the mouth to lung route. Now, I will say it is a loose mouth to lung draw. It's not restricted, and even if I shut the airflow completely, yes, that's a restricted mouth to lung draw, but it's not really a comfortable one. You need just that tiny bit of top air going in. Because this is a top airflow tank, the air goes in here, down the chimney, and then through the coil. You need that little bit of air going into it, or else it hasn't got anywhere to draw from. And it's all very well saying, well, I want a restricted draw, but it gets to a point where it's so restricted that it's not really working. So having it open just that 1 millimetre makes it very comfortable. And what I also did for the purposes of comparison was I used the same flavour juice in, which you saw was Bramble from Supergood, in both the 70-30 juice and in nic salt, not least because it's one of my favourite flavours, but also because I wanted to do a decent comparison and know what the differences were between the two coils and between the two behaviours. And I have to say, in mouth to lung mode, if you will, with a 0.6 coil in there, I'm really enjoying it. The flavour is good. The mesh coil means you're getting great flavour development. The amount of airflow is right for me, for my personal preference. And I think will be acceptable for most people across the board. It's not at an extreme. It's not super tight restrictive mouth to lung, and it's not super wide airy if you don't open it up. So I think it's a good all-rounder in those terms. It is reasonably tall from base to the top. It measures 56.5 millimetres, which is, you know, sizable, I suppose. I've just got it running here on a single battery mod on the Cold Steel 100 from ePro. But it's only a 22mm diameter tank, so you'll fit it on most things, really. I mean, if you're using a mod that requires a tank smaller than 22mm, I'd be surprised. The only thing I found bizarrely was if you put it on a big mod, and I tried on a big dual battery mod, it kind of looked lost in the middle there, but you expect that for a 22mm tank. So, you know, that's purely subjective. Overall, in the grander scheme of things, I'm reasonably impressed with it, and I think for 20 quid, you could do a lot worse. Would I go out and pick one up again if I lost this or broke it? Yeah, actually, do you know what? I think I would. I think I'm enjoying it that much that I would happily replace it. So I think that's a good indication of the kind of calibre we're looking at. So that just about wraps it up for the Geekvape Zeus Nano tank. Nice short and sweet one this time round. So I think it just remains for me to do the usual advocacy piece, remembering that all of the current advice states that vaping is at least 95% safer than smoking combustible cigarettes. As you well know, it's what got me off smoking. If you're an existing smoker, then let's hope it does the same for you. And if you're a current or new vapor, keep up the good work, you're doing the right thing. I'll see you next time on the channel. I've been Posh Boy Vapes. Cheers.